comments outside of these items on the list here?
All right, for anyone who's joining us online, if you'd like to speak at this portion of the agenda, which is for items not on today's agenda, go ahead and raise your hand and I'll call on you. Not seeing any hands raised.
Okay, so we'll close public comment. Let's go to agenda status report. Any changes in today's agenda?
No changes today.
Okay, and I'll be recusing myself on item 3, and Stacy will be recusing herself on item 5. And Tip is not here. They'll show up in 15 minutes or so, and John is out sick, and Dave is out today. Okay, minutes of August 21st, 2025. Did anybody have any comments on those minutes? Okay, Rob, why don't you turn on your... What?
Thank you. And there may be a more simplified way of referencing this, but on the 830 Rockbridge Road, what I think is missing is that so it was either it was I, but or maybe it was the board collectively wanted the homeowner to speak, and what I wrote, and like I said, I believe there's maybe a shortened way to say this, but this is what I wrote as the board requested that the homeowner speak to the board and acknowledge that they fully understand and accept the fact that the proposed driveway poses several compromises to the quality, function, privacy, and potential success of the motor court rear terrace and certain interior spaces, and that they have their own reasons and wishes that take precedent. Let's see, own reasons, what do I write here? And wishes that take precedent for their so they have their own reasons and wishes that take precedent for their property.
So would we add a note to any one of these comments? These comments are standalone. Okay.
Right, there's one note that I feel like got left off on that one as well, having to do with the request for 3D renderings, that they did not provide 3D renderings of the front of the house where more board members had concern on the architecture. They only provided one rendering on the backside where nobody had a problem.
Very specific part of the architecture, not...
Yeah, the frontage of the architecture, yes.
Would be better.
Or the whole architecture would be better.
Yeah, so provide a better 3D model of the building itself.
The complete architecture.
Yes, got it.
I do have one further comment.
Sure. Go ahead.
I grew up in Ribbon Rock. There's a historic nature to the way all those roads were laid out, including the one that's going to be replaced potentially with this new access. And I don't feel it's in keeping with the nature of the historical value of Ribbon Rock.
Mr. Chair, if I could.
Yes, Kimberly.
I don't believe that those comments regarding the roadway and the historic nature of the roadways were entered into the record in the last meeting.
Yes.
I'm not sure that I can add those to these minutes. Certainly something to keep in mind for the future meetings.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, he did mention and reference that he made a comment to that effect on this historical. I thought you did, Robert. So on site. Okay. All right. So
we may have to hold that
okay
item to the next.
So furthermore, there was mention of the inadequacy, or the rendering was only in one elevation, but I did not hear a request for more complete 3D renderings. I'm certain I don't think it's a big deal to add that into the minutes. I'm just not sure that request was actually made. It was more of a comment that the rendering was not, that wasn't of the whole of the project.
Wasn't sufficient, and we're hoping then that they would read between the lines, I guess, so.
Okay.
So really,
And
no,
then,
I guess there's nothing to add to that, I guess. Note
Yeah.
that you already have there, okay.
And then, I guess I'm a little concerned about in the Embark comments, making a notation about a request that the property owner address their or acknowledge their understanding of what they may be giving up. But I can't add that if that's the wish of the Embark. But if I could get those notes, I wasn't able to catch the complete statement.
Yeah, so Rob handed to David the notes that he described.
Yeah.
But I think generally speaking at that meeting, we heard from her and got her input and.
But it needs to be in the record that I specifically asked her to speak for a reason. And it was because, so don't, I think collectively the board like doesn't support that road. And I just wanted to hear from the homeowner as to that they full understand there's compromises that we see. And I couldn't for the life of me understand why somebody would do that. So I wanted her to basically speak on the record and have a record that that was coming from her
I think your
or
item, I think
from the owners, basically.
I think the item 3 gives them direction, at least, which is what these notes are for, right? Embar expresses concern regarding proposed driveway. Embar
but
felt that the driveway roadway configuration has negative impacts.
Yeah, but I wanted her to basically acknowledge that she understands that,
Okay,
and that was part of us saying, if that's what you want, and your eyes are fully wide open with this approach, then from that standpoint, I guess I'm okay with it. But I don't understand why somebody would do it. So so I had reason for thinking that that is important.
is there a note that we should add at this point, Kimberly, or just leave it as they describe?
I think we can certainly add the verbiage in. Typically, our comments are more direction or
Right,
to the project applicant. I'm not sure that it's necessary to put on the record that the applicant is aware of the project they're proposing, but I don't see that it's particularly harmful to add it in. So if I get that language, I'm happy to add it.
okay, all right, great. Was that it? Anybody else have anything on the other items? No?
No.
Okay. So, well, did we really add anything? I don't know if we added anything. The 3D model, was that something you could add, Kimberly?
Right, I will add the 3D model and the comments that Robert had regarding the owner's acknowledgement.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Then do we, I'll approve the minutes of August 21st. Do I have a second?
Second that.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Item 4, MBAR members informational briefings. Anybody do anything, go anywhere? Be part of anything? No?
I saw a relevant case study for one of today's projects. I went to a Moody cottage that was relocated to the Upper Mesa in 1954. Toured it. Great.
Oh, okay,
And kept intact and original.
okay, great. Thank you. Okay, staff update. Anything, Kimberly, David, that you have?
Thank you. So our development review staff wanted us to bring something to the BAR's attention. The Planning Commission is holding a workshop, the County Planning Commission in the morning and then the Montecito Planning Commission in the afternoon on September 24th, processing some zoning ordinance amendments that will affect the way that BARs conduct their business in some respects. I did place, if anyone looked at the files within the last day and a half, I did place the flyer in the box folder close to where the minutes are. I'm happy to forward the staff memo when it becomes finalized to the BAR members. I don't have a lot of specifics for you at this time, but I just want to make sure that you are aware that this is coming as a workshop first on the 24th, and then as an actual adoption hearing later in the fall.
Is there a request of the planning commission to have a MBAR or county planning or design review board member at the workshop, or?
That request has not been made at this time, but I can double check with our
Yeah,
long range
let's
planning.
ask, and maybe we can get some volunteers to be part of that.
Kimberly, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah.
No, I think it was more of just an advisory. The BAR members may be interested to see what the ordinance amendment package is looking like at this stage, early stage, and add anything in if they have it. So I don't know that it was anything other than an advisory. And if you're interested, please feel free to view those.
When you say workshop too, do you mean it's a question and answer, comments, input kind of a thing, or is it more of a, here's what it's going to be?
It's kind of more of a report and file type of situation, discussion. So they won't be taking any action on the 24th, but they will, that is going to lead to adoption hearings in the fall.
It'd be a preview of what the ordinance amendment package looks like, and the direction it's going.
Okay, great.
And again, there is a little flyer in the box folder for the members.
Okay, great. All right. We didn't have any consent items today, so we'll start up on our standard agenda. Item 1516A, San Ysidro Road, Little Mountain Signs. Do we have anybody here or someone online for that?
We do have some members of the applicant team online.
Okay, you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you've got. Give us your presentation.
My name's Katie Bell. I thank you all for taking the time. I've brought Andrew Cosby, who's our lead designer, and I think I'll let him, as he's the expert, kind of walk through everything.
This is the Pierre Lafon building there, I guess, right? In that general neighborhood.
Correct.
Okay. Go ahead, tell us what you're doing. Looks like signage.
Yeah, we're just wanting to change the signage on the exterior of the building. There were 3 signs for Pierre Lafon Wine Bistro. We're proposing 2 that are in the same location as the previous signage. We're actually, I think, just reusing the lighting that was already there. We're essentially just wanting to do like a blackened metal raised iron lettering that says Little Mountain. It's, I think, 10.5 feet across and 9.5 inches high. One at the sort of the front of the building and one on the back side of the building where the like trash enclosure is.
Okay. And anything else?
I think we just were wanting it to sort of feel a classic Spanish colonial revival. Wanting it to be, I think everything we're doing on the inside of the restaurant sort of trying to feel like it really belongs in Montecito. So we were wanting to do that on the outside as well.
Is there a light that's upside down on that drawing on the elevation or something?
Well, let's get to questions. Rob, do you have any questions?
Is there can we go back to that elevation drawing?
Oh, the drawing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, is that to the right-hand side of the door? What is that light up? Is that upside down or something? Then it wouldn't be. Well, what's
I think
going
it's
on?
just indicating we're not, like, per the building, we're not actually, other than the signage, we're not allowed to make any changes to the exterior. So that, I think, is just representing the light that's currently there.
existing.
Oh, okay. I saw upside down and then not dark sky compliant, so that's why I just
Got it.
reacted to it.
Yep.
So, okay.
Any questions on
No,
the?
no, thanks.
Stacy, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Robert, questions?
Questions?
And I have none either. Okay, so is there anyone in the audience here that would like to comment on 516A San Ysidro Road?
Again, for those of us joining us online, go ahead and raise your virtual hand if you'd like to speak on this item. Seeing no hands raised.
Okay, we'll close public comment and we'll go to responses. Rob, what do you think of this proposal?
I guess I go back to a quick question. What is just the logic or the placement of the signage? What is the thinking, real brief? mean,
We
that's-
were replaced because we weren't allowed to change anything on the exterior of the building. We're just reusing the existing locations.
Oh,
So we
okay.
couldn't-
All right.
We weren't supposed to change the lighting, so we just we're removing one location and then just using the two other existing locations.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think it's nice and simple and works for me quite well.
Casey?
I agree. I like it. It's simple.
Okay.
I have no objection.
Robert, do you have any to add to that?
No, I think it's appropriate and as we all know, I don't know if we get into the semantics of things that on this board, but Montecito is translated to Little Mountain. So there's something there that I think is good. And I like this proposal.
Great. And I have no problem with it either. So you're here for concept review. I guess we can have you come back for
Oh,
preliminary and final
absolutely.
on consent. So, okay, we're good with that? All right, let's go on to item 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 2.
Thank you.
539 Periwinkle Lane. Chris, I see you're here. Come on down.
Chris, I have those available if you want to just tell us what they are.
So before we get started, Chris, I'd seen an email from David about some new plans. Normally, we don't allow new plans. Are they that different from what we're looking
No,
at?
and I'll walk you through what we have, and then I'll
Okay.
just use those as a supplement, just so
Yeah.
you can see we got a couple.
Sounds
tweaks.
good. Here
Yeah.
you're for concept review anyway, so you'll be coming back no matter what.
Exactly.
We have a planner memo on this one.
Okay, let's read that. Okay, yeah, structure is previously brought to you by the board by different ownership under case number for unpermitted exterior changes. The plans were approved by MBAR July 25th, 2025. Since the approval, the property was sold to the new owner. Proposal's minor nature includes following changes to the previously approved plans, replacing the entry window on the north elevation to match the existing window styles throughout the house, adding French doors to the master bedroom on the southern elevation to match doors on the eastern elevation. Okay, go ahead, Chris. Thank you.
So much.
Oh, there's more. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Removing the master bedroom window on the western elevation, removing the southern window in the second bathroom. Windows will match the appearance of the house's historic window types with regard to type and appearance of glazing bars. The replacement board and batten siding will match the original in material and appearance. Due to the controversy of the original project, the minor changes did not qualify for an exemption and are being brought to your board for approval. Phase 1 Historic Resources Report was prepared for the structure in 2021 and confirms none of the proposed changes will impact the historic merit of the structure. Okay, now go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Chris Cottrell, architect, and Emily Myers, designer. Yeah, you got the background on this. This was owned by a different owner. They did some unpermitted work. It kind of blew up. They got tagged for it. So it went through MBAR under duress. I think neighbors were not happy. Now we have new owner, new architect, happy neighbors. I think things are resolved. But we do have a couple minor tweaks, and I think that's why we're here, just to show you those.
Okay, all windows and doors.
All windows and doors.
Okay.
You got it. Yep.
Dave, do you want to scroll through those for him?
And Kimberly, just for the record, tip just arrived.
Showed up.
This is current conditions. So some of what you're
Not yet.
some of what you're seeing is some of that unpermitted work. So this has already been to the board. You can see some of the single light windows, those are already approved to be replaced with the divided light windows. But I'll get you exactly where we are. If you could go to the plan sheet, that'd be awesome. Site plans on Little Periwinkle Lane, actually right around the corner from the last project. Floor plan. Okay, existing is the top plan and the changes are noted below. Do I have a mouse or do you drive all this? You drive it all, okay.
If you have to, Chris, we've got a microphone. You can go up and point if that's helpful. Otherwise,
That might be easier if you don't
Okay.
mind, yeah.
yeah. This, while we're waiting for Chris to get set up, is a Moody Cottage.
So,
As Stacy had
you
mentioned,
guys
she
hear me?
saw
Is
it.
this
today.
okay? Green.
There you go.
Okay.
We can hear you.
All right, cool. So this is the French door that we're going to add to the master bedroom. There was a pair of windows right here on the western side. We'd like to take those out because they're right where the bed is. So add this door and then add a window to the front door. And then this is that there was a window in this little bathroom. Doesn't really work with where the sink is. So take that window out. Again, street is up here. Go to the next page. Okay, so this is the entry, add a little window to the entry, and then, let's see. Right now, we're taking out, there was a pair of proposed windows in that last plan, those will come out. And then the pair of French doors off the master is right there. That's in the back of the house. Okay, if you don't mind going to that other set, I'll just show you what's changed. Thank you so much for doing that. Okay. Up one. Sorry. Okay, so in the meantime, since this project has been going, the electrical panel or meter needs to be replaced, and the only spot to put it is where we had one of those windows. So we're going to take that window out and put it on the other side of the master. That's the big change in these plans. So nothing major. And then if you go to the next page, the window brand we're looking at is a steel window by Miramar Manufacturing. It's a nice thin profile, goes with the same Muntin division that we've got throughout the house. We will come back with full plans for this, but this is the direction we're heading. And if we could get some board response so we can move forward with drawings from these guys, that would be very handy. Unless you have anything, Emily.
Hi, this is Emily Myers. I just wanted to point out that a couple of the windows that were replaced in the renovation back in the 70s, I believe, that are the single light are being replaced with historically accurate multi-pane windows to make sure the front of the house is as historically accurate as possible. So that is one thing we're doing. And then going with the thinnest muntins possible to make sure it can really read from the street like it would have read in the beginning. Thank you.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Let's go to questions. Robert, anything?
I'm trying to remember what point the discussion about these Moody cottages going to metal roofs, where did that land? It's more maybe a question for the board. I'm okay with standing seam metal roof, but I know there was some heated discussion about it. So I'm curious where we landed on that.
Mr. Chair, if you don't,
Well, yeah, go ahead, Chris.
I could just say that on this project, that metal roof has to come out. So it's going back to a comp shingle. So it's coming out.
All right.
Yeah, and the board enforced that on the last time that it came through.
Okay. Anything else?
No more
questions. Okay. Yep, you got some comments on this?
Yes, can you,
Or questions, sorry.
can you go back to the floor plan? Um, so the south elevation is the front door is the north, right?
Correct.
Let me see where the front door. That's the front door you're coming in. Yeah, where the wash. That's the north, the south. Okay, so if I remember correctly, there are two conditions. One is the roofing, and the second is the color, which you have to repaint them.
Correct.
And the last was, did your client add the bathroom afterward? Is it done now, or is it not under construction yet?
Yeah, it was purchased halfway under this enforcement case, so it's sort of halfway done.
So the bathroom is being added right now.
It's not added, it's just an interior remodel, no square footage added.
Yeah, because there was no bathroom.
Yeah, originally, that area was the kitchen. So that wasn't a bathroom there. Back, that little chunk, actually the two opposite chunks up on the right-hand corner and left.
Do you have an existing floor plan? Because I remember
Yes.
when I saw the house, when you have that door come to the bathroom, okay, but definitely that's not existing. Because I saw the house when it was existing, the door to the bathroom, that was the location of the desk. And so that was not a part of the house complete and anything at all. And I remember something like there was some pending approval for the bathroom, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, it wasn't there. I think the previous owner had started it, and that's when he got red tagged. So
So
that footprint,
did they have the building permit for the bathroom? That's my question.
yes, and that footprint's been there since 1973. It's just an interior change to make it a bathroom.
So they do have a permit for that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Questions?
Yeah, two questions on the south elevation. Can I see yeah, that one? And then that's the proposed, and right now there's nothing there?
On the south elevation,
Yes.
that's correct. Where the doors are, there's just a blank.
So it looks awfully pinched in that one upper corner up there. Did you look at, I mean, is there the ability to move that over or have one wider door, or are you comfortable with between the top corner of the door and then the roof? Just looks awfully pinched.
Can I respond? It's close. It will fit. It's centered on the rim, so the idea was to kind of keep it centered.
Okay, okay. And then there was another, I saw something where the top had an angle to it. Where did I see that on one of was it the bathroom projection, or it was an existing, it was a photo, one of
yeah.
the photos.
All those trapezoid windows.
Yeah, there was a trapezoid top to one of those. There it is. Is that a window on the lower right hand? Oh, yeah, both of those.
Yeah, those are both coming out.
So you're squaring those up.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Those are my questions.
Okay. From Stacy, questions?
What year was this Moody Cottage originally built?
We have the historic report. I don't know offhand. Do you have it up?
Is it 40s?
I think that's right.
That sounds right. And do you know what color it was originally?
Originally, I don't know. We did go through color with the board last time and aren't proposing a change to it. So
You
the
keeping
board,
it white?
yeah, it's an off-white.
Okay, because I believe it wasn't it blue, like a blue
It
green
was blue.
previously
Yeah.
in the last rendition. Okay.
Yes.
Just because I know all the Moody cottages are kind of colorful
Mhm.
and less often white. So that was a question. And was the original roof an asphalt shingle or was it a cedar shake?
Originally, it was a wood shake.
It was a wood shake. Okay, those are my questions. That's it.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that'd like to comment on this item 539 Periwinkle Lane?
And for those of us joining online again, go ahead and raise your virtual hand if you'd like to speak on this item. No hands raised.
Okay.
quick other question
Yeah.
for the,
Go ahead, Rob.
that photo right there with the chairs showing the window goes all the way to the ground. Did you folks look at maybe, since you using that space and the window at the ground levels being obscured, did you consider maybe having the bottom be, the wood siding or the stucco siding? What is that material there? And then just having a window there as opposed, that doesn't go all the way to the ground?
Sorry, which window was this?
So it's right there where the two chairs are, like,
These are samples, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's just to show you that mirror mark.
is that on,
No, that's no.
not on the
We can
building?
go back.
Okay,
Yeah.
my bad. Okay, thank you.
And I didn't have any questions. So let's go to comments of the board. Robert, comments?
I think we're there. I think it's finally gonna just be done. Everything's resolved as far as I can tell. And I would vote to just move it forward as quickly as we can.
Okay. Yep, comments?
Yeah, I don't have any issues with the renovation.
Rob?
I think it's predominantly fine. I'm a little bothered by that one spot that's pinched. I don't know whether you could narrow those doors or drop the height slightly and not have any code issues, or not create other problems, and it's not a deal killer for me, but it just reads really pinched. But other than that, I think what you folks have done is just fine.
Okay, thanks. Stacy?
Yeah, I mean, I commend you for kind of bringing it back from where it was taken with the standing seam metal roof. And I know a lot of Moody cottages got switched to asphalt shingle for obvious reasons with fire and age. But yeah, I mean, I have no objections.
Okay, great. And I do not either. I think you've done a good job. So you'll be back with color boards, I assume, the roof?
Yeah, roof is done. Board's already approved that, and
Okay.
siding's done. It would really just be the windows.
Okay, so the color, there's gonna be a black, and you've got the siding is the white. You've already gotten that
The board
approved
is approved, yeah.
before? Okay,
Mr. Chair, if you wouldn't mind, if I could get direction on that, the front big window, if you could go, sorry, David, to go down one page. We have a couple options. If you could zoom in the right-hand corner there. It is a small little house. It would be fantastic to be able to get some air through that front window. We have three options shown here where we could do basically like a French door with that window to be able to throw it open and get air in there. Or we could do an awning. That's the bottom version. So the French door is the middle one, and then the top is the fixed. But I would love direction on what the board feels comfortable with. The divisions on the middle one are very like it looks good. I think the operation of it would be really nice for the owner. So if the board is okay with that, I would like to go in that direction.
do we want to take a vote on whatever? So who would approve the French casement concept? Raise their hand. I'd be okay with that. And the awning, I would myself personally, I'd probably be less likely because the cut-ups are probably going to be a little heavier right in the middle of the eye line. And I think the French casement would probably look more traditional to that house. So
Fantastic. Thank you.
about that. Okay. Okay. So you're here for concept review, come back for preliminary and final on consent. Everybody good with that? Okay.
Beautiful.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks. So item 3, 750 Picacho, somebody will have to sit in for me. I need to recuse myself. So, Tip, do you want to do it? Okay. All right.
Okay, so item number 3, 750 Picacho Lane. Is the applicant online?
Yes, good afternoon, board members. This is Eric Baer with AB Design Studio. With me also is Justin Kurtz with AB Design Studio.
Okay, all yours.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for volunteering your time this afternoon. We're here with a minor alteration, minor addition project to an existing residence. Quick overview. Why don't you turn to page 4 for us, please, David? So context photos. It's in kind of an old tired house from the 80s. You can see boxy geometry here. The new owners are looking to just clean it up, clean up the facades, new plaster finish, door and window replacement, some minor site work. We're here for concept review. Looking to replace some of the existing doors and windows with dual pane, better energy performance. Again, just kind of a general cleanup, interior alteration as well. We've got some repair permits already underway with the county, but we're here as part of a land use permit for some minor addition. We're adding a net square footage of 120 square feet, 121 square feet, which is what triggered the land use permit. And so we're here for the review of these kind of minor exterior alterations, cleanup. So also part of the project, we're proposing an ADU, which, as you know, is not purview of the board, but with the ADU application, we're proposing a roof deck above the new ADU, and that does warrant review with the board. So that's part of our scope here today. Moving on. It's worth noting that you can see Picacho Lane here on the survey on the west side of the residence. Heavy existing vegetation along Picacho Lane. The house itself not visible from the street. You can get a glimpse of it as you pass the driveway there at the northwest corner of the property, but by and large, all the exterior alterations are not visible from the right of way. So just please keep that in mind. Moving on, you can see the next sheet is the existing site plan, which we can reference back to if needed. Moving to the next sheet, we're proposing some hardscape and gravel pathways, some minor site walls, kind of in the top left corner at the south end of the driveway. There's some modifications to the entry approach there, some modifications at the pool deck, and then we're adding some gravel pathways along the north and east perimeter of the house. We're adding some pavers at the existing garage, in front of the existing garage there in the southwest corner. You can see here the proposed accessory dwelling unit in the southeast corner, east of the pool. On top of that is where we're proposing the roof deck. You can see the spiral staircase indicated there at the north end of the ADU to take us up, which you can see later in the set. Next sheet. Here's our existing and demo plan, which we can reference back to. It looks like a lot of demo scope. Primarily, that's mostly just indicating the existing doors and windows to be removed in order to be replaced. Next sheet, please. Moving on. Yeah, you can actually, why don't we move forward to the proposed first floor plan on sheet 13. So here the red diagonal hatch indicates the area of addition. So you can see we're adding on the east side of the house. There's a minor addition there. There's a couple other areas where we're just kind of infilling what was previously nooks or alcoves around the building perimeter. Again, very boxy geometry here. So we're kind of squaring some things off a little bit, and grabbing a little square footage. It's all within and beneath the existing roof. So we're not really expanding the area of the building in terms of how it's viewed from above, just grabbing back a little square footage here and there. You can see the proposed ADU and the spiral staircase here before moving on to the next sheet. Here you can see the area of the proposed roof deck atop the ADU. We're also adding some square footage in the northwest corner of the second floor here. This was an existing exterior deck that was partially walled in. We're enclosing it and grabbing that back as interior square footage. You can see also one thing that's proposed, it's sort of the middle of the house at the south end there's an existing plaster kind of soffit that runs along the south end of an existing patio, and we're proposing to add some shade canopy there, those three kind of gray rectangles you can see. Moving ahead to sheet 16, we can see the exterior elevations. This will give you a better indication of some of the door and window replacements. We're relocating certain windows and doors just to have a better alignment with some of the interior space. There in the central of elevation 2, you can see we're proposing to add a glass rail in place of existing bar. And actually, David, I believe you accepted in some updates to the exterior elevations. We had some graphic improvements here that I think the board will find easier to read if we could switch to those sheets that were subbed in.
Does this look correct to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. So if the board has questions, we can go back through these. You'll see we're adding a vertical wood element on elevation 2. You'll see that on some of the other elevations if we move to the next sheet. Just some accent materials that we're adding to what was previously just an entirely plaster boxed geometry. So moving to the next sheet, you can see we're proposing to add some stone to the material palette. That's an existing stair tower on the north side of the project. We're proposing to wrap that with stone, and then again adding some accent material with the vertical slided wood. Moving to the next sheet, you can again see elements of the stone being proposed to the elevations, along with the glass rail atop the accessory dwelling unit for the roof deck. There's some very nice views to the south, so just looking to maximize those for the property and posing the glass rail for the benefit of the view. The next sheet, again, you can see now we're at the north elevation. You can see that stair tower that we're proposing to wrap in stone, along with some other repeated accents of stone in the vertical side. And then finally, the last sheet, this is facing south towards the ocean view. So we're adding in some new sliding door systems at the ground level that would lead out to the pool deck. And we're also proposing to replace the garage doors with a single door system, a 2-door system. I think I'll stop with that. Welcome to questions. And again, just reiterating that the visibility of the homes is very minimal. It's heavily vegetated around its perimeter. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So let's go to questions. Let's start with Stacy.
Sure. The roof deck, is that screened from the neighbors?
There is screening. If you go to the site plan, it's probably the best sheet to view that. So along the access road there along the south side, just south of that road, there is existing vegetation. And as part of our preliminary and final approval, we'll have landscape plans where that'll be better represented. But there is vegetation along there that helps screen it from the neighbors. The roof deck itself is perched, at kind of atop the line of sight for those. So in terms of where that is, with we're trying to walk the line between maximizing the views towards the ocean without exposing views into the neighboring property to the south there.
So you
There
do
is
get
existing
ocean
vegetation along
views on this roof deck?
You do, yes.
How about from other portions of the house, like upstairs? Do you have ocean views already?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And I mean, I see a site plan for hardscape and pool plan later. Is there going to be additional landscape plans associated with this one?
Correct. We intend to have those for the preliminary final review.
Okay, those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rob.
Let's see. color of building. Do you have a proposed color palette for the architecture here? Are you,
I'll let Justin speak towards that. I don't believe we've provided that yet here at Concept.
are
No,
you
we
trying
can-
to stay the same color, or are you trying to do something? Right now, it kind of reads really dirty looking, I guess. So that's where that caught my
Yeah, it's
eye.
hard to, I can answer that. We're staying within the same color realm. We are moving from the white windows to a black, which we can provide in the next round as well. The idea is to stay within the same, it's like a light beige, creamy white, just a smoother plaster finish versus the rough that's existing today.
Stone style for the new architectural enhancements. What's the stone? Is it Santa Barbara sandstone,
That's the idea. We're
ashlar, or random ashlar or something? Or
a sandstone. We're working through samples right now, and I think we actually landed something as of yesterday. So prior to submitting this package, we can provide that in the next round as well. But that's the idea, is that's a sandstone. There is an existing site wall that runs up Picacho that's made of the same material, and we wanted to complement that.
trying to get kind of a more traditional look, or where are you going with it?
In line with the 5 point. We're still debating whether it's a dry stack or if we expose a more heavily mortared look. But we wanted to look a little older, again, to complement the older wall that's there versus something that would be more of a linear pattern, more contemporary. So.
Okay, is the wall really? I mean, a lot of the walls on Picacho are really well done. So the intent is maybe have it be a notch up.
A notch up.
Quality wise, I mean, with the stone on the building reading a little more important than the wall, or what is the stone on the street
The stone on the wall is a Santa Barbara. It's a 5 point.
Okay.
It's in very good condition. It looks great. We are wanting to keep that. To your question of a step up, I think we want to complement it, but we're going to make it look a little bit different. And I think that's where we would introduce more of a mortar to it versus the dry stack that's on the
Okay.
wall itself.
Let's see then, and last question. Are you being kicked in with some of where you're going with this, like to roads department? Do they come into play? Are you going to have to get approval through those folks?
We have been advised that we need to submit, and we already have, for an encroachment permit for the existing wall for transportation.
Yes, because they'll get into like the stacking space on the gate, and then also the visibility of the driveway, kind of the cone of the view cone coming out of the driveway. I think all those issues will start to come, and you'll be kind of required to deal with those.
Right, those comments have been issued to us, and we're working with transportation on that. Again, we're trying to work through it where we can keep this as an existing to remain with the gates. Fire has already approved this as far as the gate location and the size for grandfathering their minimum dimensions. I know that they want us to move. Transportation has requested that we relocate these gates, I think up to 30 feet away from the roadway, which complicates things. So we're working through that with transportation right now.
Okay, those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Robert?
In response to Stacy's question, I'm curious, David, could you please pull up a Google Earth or something of which neighbors may be affected by this ADU roof deck? Okay. I got it. No more questions.
Okay, I have some questions. Do you have, okay, first, can I see the floor plan again, David? Uh, the proposed new floor plan. I'll go back one sheet. Yeah. Yep. So I guess, and can I see the back elevation, the south? Okay, one back. Next one, not this one. One more. Yep, that one. Okay, so I guess one of the questions I have is that did you perform the FAR study?
We did do a calculator for this, yes.
And so you have 117 now with the addition?
So the addition, we're actually reducing some square footage. We're removing all, as Eric mentioned, all under the existing roof plane. We're taking out a little bit of the master or the primary closet, excuse me, and adding back to an official laundry room on the other side. So it nets out, and also enclosing an existing balcony, which is under the existing roof now. So those net to the amount that Eric mentioned, which I think is approximately 121 square feet.
So
To clarify.
you are enclosing some balconies?
One that faces the north. We just feel it's better use of the space.
And does that add any square footage to the house?
Officially, it does.
Yeah, 120 square feet, which I don't know if it's represented
Yeah, because
correctly in this
if
calculator.
you enclose the balcony, that should be an additional square footage.
Correct. And if we look at the floor plan, we have those areas shaded in red to help clarify. So if you look at the next floor plan, the second floor plan. So if you see that red on the floor plan there, that represents what we're enclosing. That's currently exterior space, but under the existing roof plane.
Okay, I guess it doesn't matter if the existing roof plan or not. If you enclose it, it's square footage.
Understood.
Okay, so you're adding that is about 120 square feet. No, that's much less, right? Let's go
That
back to the floor
area,
plan.
the 120 is total. So if you go to the first floor plan, you can see we've tried to make it clear with these red hatched areas. So the one that's a diagonal dash on screen there is what we are enclosing, and what is the other hatch is what we are removing as square footage. So there's a net calculation of adding 120 square feet.
Okay, and then my next question relating to the FAR is what is the I know that you're attaching the ADU to the main house. What is that distance? The bathroom.
I'm sorry, I don't
You
understand the
zoom
question.
in that
The
bathroom.
distance?
Yeah, what is the distance of the attachment between the ADU and the main house? That bathroom.
Well, we're butting up to the existing wall
Yeah.
of the house itself.
That look like about what, 7 feet?
Are you referring to the opening, the notch in between?
No, the distance between the shower and the sink. How wide is that? The bathroom.
Approximately 9 feet.
Okay, did you check the code about the minimum attachment to be considered as one?
We have checked the code. I would have to remind myself exactly what our calc was.
Yeah, you need to check on that because I think it's more than what you have. It needs to be more because right now it's because I know that you are not calculating the ADU as a square footage,
Correct.
but you're adding the roof deck above it. But if you're adding a 120 square feet, so your FAR will be probably 1.2 something without the ADU. That's
I
my
don't have
question.
the calc in front of me. I'm sorry. Can we go back to the calculation? So I know that they're we're under an acre. So if you wouldn't mind, actually, this calculation doesn't look like we have that in there.
Can you go down to the page, David? Yeah, I think the total square footage allowed, no, it should be, yeah. I mean, the ADU, I mean, the FAR calculation, can I see that?
Tip, can I ask, don't they have to add the ADU to the FAR calculation?
Well, if the ADU is attached to the house, then I don't think you need to count. It's only as if I think it's detached from the house. But to be considered attached to the house, it had to be so much attachment.
Okay.
You just cannot just glue to it and call it attachment.
Okay, and then that affects the FAR calculation.
Yeah, because if you detach it, then obviously the FAR will go to the roof.
And
That's
if you attach it, it brings the FAR down.
But then, when you use the roof deck, and that's a part of the house, then that changes everything.
Yep.
With the 120 square feet added, it puts us at 120% FAR to answer that question.
Okay, all right, and the railing is glass railing.
That's correct. That's what's proposed.
And what kind of doors, window are you changing?
We're going with an awake system. Is that right, Justin? Aluminum.
No, it's actually an all-weather system.
All-weather.
It's a thinner profile aluminum system, thermally broken, full panes of glass.
Okay, I think that's all I have. I'm to open public comments for item number 3, 750 Picacho Lane. Do we have anyone online?
Go ahead and raise your virtual hand if you'd like to speak on this item. No hands raised.
Okay, thank you. Back to comments, starting with Stacy.
Okay. I mean, overall, I like the updates to the architecture from its current style to the proposed. The addition of the stone and wood to definitely warm up the facade, I think is helpful. I like the pattern of the stone that you're showing on the plans now more than a 5-point Santa Barbara sandstone. Just, I feel like that's a little bit overused and kind of common. Especially if you want to add some more age to it, like you described. I think what you're showing looks good. I am concerned about the roof deck, though, and its proximity to the neighbor below you. And I would request a site visit to review this project in the field. And also, too, I would be less inclined to approve it with a glass railing. With the glare and the fact that it collects all the dust, and it just adds more massing at the end of the day to the roof deck than if you went with like a simple steel. And then too, I'd want to see screening and how this affects the neighbors, most especially below you. I think you're fine on the other sides. And a little less hardscape too, because it's like this house is already overwhelming the site. And adding more massing, and it seems like even greater amounts of hardscape, that you're really maxed out here. So if you could look at each area and think, how can we reduce and soften? That's it.
Rob.
Can we go back to the elevation, please? That's good right there. I mean, I like some of the improvements or the thought of some of the improvements. I agree with Stacy on the railing. I agree with Stacy on the stone style. What would help me to get a better sense of this project is that if the graphics, if you use kind of color and rather this kind of like with the whole plaster being that kind of pochade black or whatever it is right now, just to kind of start to, I think it would help have the whole presentation of it feel warmer than what it is right now. It's something I guess I would expect more at a conceptual level to kind of use more of kind of that hand-drawn look or color or something would help me personally. And I think maybe even how you apply the stone, where in some cases all the stone is kind of applied and chopped off at one level. There's some merit to having the stone and part of the architecture maybe kind of being a whole face and going all the way to the top and really letting it kind of stand out. But I mean, but overall, I mean, I appreciate what you folks are doing, and think it's only going to get better as some of these comments are incorporated and as you folks move on with it. So, thank you.
Robert?
I agree. The graphics are a bit confusing in some regards, and no, I would not do 5 point. That's not really a structural layout for stone. It's more for a garden wall. And I think I'm okay with pretty much everything else. I'm a bit concerned about the roof deck and but I would not oppose the project based on that, based on looking at the Google map. I think we're probably okay there. So all in all, I support the project.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an improvement when you fix the place up. But my main concern had to do with the mass spoken scale. It's, when you look at that, it's definitely when you look at the side plan, it's pretty much it's a very big house, and it's going to be bigger. And I don't think that the connection you have now is meeting the requirements. And I'm sure you can fix that, but as of now, it's since it doesn't meet the requirement, it probably bring your FAR up to probably 1.4. And on top of that, adding a roof deck over that portion is kind of expanding the footprint of the house. And so because of that, I mean, I think that it needs some work, but as of now, I just think that it's just too much for the site. And so I can't really support the roof deck the way the design right now as you have it presented. And definitely the graphic is not helping. It's very difficult to read the drawing. So what do you like to do? What does the board like to do?
Can I say
Yeah,
one more thing?
sure.
Tip's question about is this a attached or detached ADU? We need to get clarification on that because that affects the FAR and this whole mass bulk scale issue. So, what is the number that we're looking at here? Is this attached or detached?
Mr.
And the bring the 120 square feet addition into the formula. So that had to be updated. So I like to bring it back to the full board.
I think maybe,
With they could go for preliminary for sure.
Yeah.
Bring it to the full board, and then with these comments incorporated, I think would move them further along really quickly.
well, and I think if they want to if they want to try to go for the roof deck, I have hesitation about it as well. I would want a site visit just to ensure, because one of the biggest complaints I hear from people, neighbors, are roof decks
I agree.
close to other neighbors, and I'm not certain with the proximity, but not only that, like there's not very much room for screening. I don't know if the neighbor has enough screening on their side as well from this roof deck. I think it's important to review that.
Okay, yeah, I like the site visit. Anyone else like?
Yep.
And of course, having the landscape plan and some of those site issues being incorporated in the next round, I think is imperative.
All right, we'll bring back to the full board, but you can schedule for preliminary approval.
Or is there anything, so was it just a site visit with, do you want any polls or?
Yeah, some poles,
Poles for that roof
direction.
deck. Yeah, just so we can see that outlined and its height.
the 4 poles for the,
And
Well,
we
that-
need that zoning clarification.
Clarification.
ADU attachment or not.
On the FAR and how that affects.
and
the
then
roof.
revise FAR calculation.
To be considered an attached portion of the structure, you need to share 5 feet of common wall.
Well, it is attached,
Okay.
which means it would go to the FAR,
Yeah.
which would put it, what did you say? Ted?
1.4.
1.4.
Well, and one final comment. I think that when I look at this site, I think you could move the entry columns and gates back, whether it's 30 feet, but I think it looks awfully close now that there's no stacking space, that I think there's room in the design and it could actually opening up that throat of the driveway, I mean, could be an asset and at many levels. So kind of looking at that for the next level.
Thank you. Moving on to Bill's back to item number 4. .483 Hot Springs Road.
Okay. Item number 4, 483 Hot Springs Road. We have the applicant online. Oh, there you are. Okay. Give us your name and give us your presentation too.
My name is Alexa Newman. I'm the architect for this project. This is a remodel and addition to an existing home. It is an extensive remodel. There's very little that we are keeping, the foundation and a few walls. If you would go to the demo site plan, or sorry, the photos, the next sheet, we can look at them a little bit. The current house, it's an eclectic style. It's kind of a California cottage that was added onto at least 2 times. It's got some mid-century elements and some ranch elements and kind of just a mishmash of things. And to get the program that we required, we studied a couple different styles, trying to see if we could pull together something more cohesive. And this is a family of several children, and the style that was decided upon was more of a compact farmhouse style, both for efficiency, just interior efficiency. So, kids' bedrooms are upstairs, primaries downstairs, everything works. But also so we limit the sprawl of the house on the site. And also declare a style, which I think will enhance the property's beauty. If you'd like to go to the next page, the demo site plan. The existing house is, the address is Hot Springs, and Hot Springs isn't even visible here. It's kind of off to the east. And you enter the property from Dinsmore Lane. I'm sure you guys have all driven past it a lot. It's the house at the entry of Hot Springs and Dinsmore has all these beautiful succulents and palms planted. So you go past that down a little lane, and the entry is there. So there's 2 front setbacks. One feels very much like the backyard along East Valley. And then the front yard is their primary yard space, and that's off of Dinsmore. So we are calling for the demo of the whole south part of the house. It's a smaller wing that's right now the bedroom wing. It's very narrow, and we studied how to get some bedrooms in there, and there's just the dimension is tough. So we're demoing that, and that's where the new primary wing will go, and the orientation will change. But the rest of the footprint of the house is going to remain and be added to, plus a second floor will be added. We can go to the next sheet, the proposed site plan. I have the roof plan on there for the proposed main house. And you'll see it's the kind of central portion is the second story portion. And then surrounding it is all single level roofs to minimize the massing. The only other change to note is that currently the grade at the north of the house, the rear yard near East Valley, is higher than the floor level. So they're having a lot of drainage problems. So we'll be pulling that back. Right now I've shown a low retaining wall, 3 feet or less in height, but about that, about 3 feet, just to get the drainage to work whenever we end up with a grading plan for the next round. You can go to the next sheet. The demo plan, you'll see to the left, the bedroom 2 is shaded, and that just denotes that we're demoing everything. And then the rest of the plan, you see how much is being demoed. There's a couple walls on the garage that are being kept, a couple interior walls. The foundation is being kept. The next sheet shows the second floor that's being demoed and all of the roof and the chimney, both chimneys. You can go to the next sheet. So the floor plan, the new floor plan shows the entry is to the east on the right side of the sheet. You come through a covered porch. All of the roof lines along that east facade are low, one story high volumes to, again, minimize the mass of the second floor. And there's a large kitchen to the left and a garage to the right, 2 parking spaces, and then space for storage, golf cart, bikes, camping gear, etc., and a gardener's bath. And then the first floor is the living spaces, dining, living, family, a small office, and then to the west is the primary suite. And then if you'd like to go to the next sheet, the upper floor has a very simple symmetrical floor plan, 4 kids' bedrooms, and then a kids' den. And you see that pretty much on all sides, there are roofs below. The exception to that is the north facade. That's the only double height facade with no single story volumes. You can go to the next sheet. And that's just the demo roof plan. You can just see it's all being demoed. Next sheet, please. And you can skip past that too. And the next one, gable roof. You can skip past that, although that's a 600-foot ADU that we're detached ADU that we will propose under a separate permit. The demo elevations, you can see what the house looks like, and you can see that the shaded portions are the walls that are being kept. And everything else is being demoed. And on the next sheet are the other 2 demo elevations. A3.2, this is kind of the one to look at. These are the 2 principal elevations. The top one, south, is what you would see coming in from the driveway on Dinsmore. And that's really like the main egress point to their yard. So they wanted a lot of indoor, outdoor flow. Kitchen windows are facing that yard, a covered porch for some furniture. And you can see just the massing of it, trying to keep several different volumes, both for, aesthetic purposes and to minimize the mass. Below that is the entry elevation, and it has the 2 bays of garage doors, and then the third bay of the garage closest to the entry. There's just double doors. It's not an overhead door for the storage. And then the entry doors are under a covered porch. And then last is the kitchen over there. Next sheet. The north elevation is the one that faces East Valley Road. There's a fence between it and East Valley Road and quite a few trees. And that's the rear part of the yard is it's not as heavily used. They have an orchard and a vegetable garden back there. And then the last elevation is the primary suite, the west elevation showing to the right is the primary suite. Well, the whole bottom floor is basically the primary suite. And then you see the kids' den above with a small window and the kids' bedrooms beyond that in the larger volume upstairs. And that's all. The last sheet is just the ADU elevations, which are of a similar style. And
Okay, is that
that's
it?
all.
Okay,
Thank you.
great, thank you. Let's go to questions of the board. Rob, questions?
I'll come back.
Okay. Stacy, do you have any questions?
Sorry, site plan, please. Okay, proposed site plan. Yeah, that's good. So this is the existing driveway coming in, and I can see that you've relocated and kind of put some parking, it looks like towards the east. Why is the driveway touching the proposed structure? The one I'm not allowed to talk about.
It can be massaged. The driveway can get narrower. It's probably about 16 feet, if not a little bit more right there.
Okay.
But that was more of an alignment, like wanting to align the ADU with the house. So we could definitely study that to get, a little bit more planting between there.
Okay, and have we started to think about landscape with this project yet? Is that next step just coming in
Yes.
for conceptual on architecture at this point?
Yes.
Okay, and then two, looking at some of the material board as well. I do see a lot of this style. First page, Dave, of the whole set. Were other colors ever considered like warmer colors or something other than the kind of the black, white concept?
That is, we can definitely discuss that, understanding that something that is darker might be more appropriate with the landscape. But yeah, that's up for discussion if the board would like to take that direction.
I'm just thinking about just contextually Montecito. That this is just, it's becoming very, common everywhere. And then two, I saw, are those posts, are they wood posts on the house on the facade with the recessed porch? Or are those going to be plastered or stuccoed?
I envisioned those being steel, but I didn't call those
Steel.
out.
Okay, you haven't called them out yet, like an I-beam steel or a tubular steel?
Tubular steel, just as slender as possible.
Okay. All right, those are, and we'll talk about landscape more when you come back. All right, those are my main questions.
Questions?
No questions.
Robert? Questions?
David, as long as you have it up, can you zoom in on the vicinity map, please? Okay. So that's Para Grande going up. No. Well, yes. I see. So was this house taken out in the flood or not?
No,
The one next door. Got it. The fire
Okay.
department.
No more questions?
Rob, questions?
Yes, could we go back to the site plan, please? Um, Stacy alluded to it, and I think that, and a landscape architect, as part of your team will help flush some of these things out. I think the driveway is an opportunity to kind of have some more grace and shape to it, rather than trying to just kind of add little pieces on it, and and make it work for this property. Start dealing with maybe guest parking as part of that. It looks like drainage is another aspect that I think will come into play, that a landscape architect could help kind of, resolve, and then become an asset, as part of the overall kind of composition to it. And then what is can I see that elevation with the garage door and the front door, please? Yes, so that's like, I caught that in plan view, and then I guess I always react to that. I'm kind of a believer in kind of creating some semblance of hierarchy, and that the front door should be very inviting. And then what's happening is that second set of doors to the right of it, and the garage door, starts to begin to compete with the main front door. So I think what you're kind of losing, um, really celebrating the front door in a meaningful way. And so I guess I would study that and look at that, and maybe it's materials, or dealing with it somehow. So anyways,
These are
uh,
questions.
oh, that's right. Sorry. Thank you. And then have you considered maybe even looking at creating a courtyard of some sort around the front, like a small courtyard wall or something like that?
maybe go to the site plan just to clarify, just because it's pretty tight to the driveway, but I love that idea. Um, yeah, like where the stepping stones are, to maybe define that kind of that space a little bit.
I think all that will, and then part of like redesigning the driveway maybe will.
Mhm.
Okay, thank
That
you.
can be
So, yeah, sorry, I stepped the line of questions and
That's all
comments.
right. You can restate that if you want. Um, your driveway paving material, what is that going to be? Is it chip seal? Am I?
Currently it's asphalt, and it's just gonna be kept as asphalt unless, but we have a landscape architect who might propose some changes.
Okay. Dave, could you go to 8.2 or 3.2, 3.2? You're showing chimneys there, and to get the clearances you need to the roof lines. They're tall. Have you looked at any other places you could put those, or any other kinds of fireplaces that maybe aren't wood burning, that would be a different type of vent that you could
Yeah,
shorten those guys?
that's I believe the same, that because of the clearances, that they're so tall.
Or move them out of the way of that 10-foot distance, Have you looked at that?
I will study that. I know the clients do want that, the real fire. But that can be studied as well.
And then also on that elevation there, the east elevation, those are bedrooms upstairs there. Is there any reason why you couldn't have windows on that upper floor on the east elevation? You have a big, tall, blank wall there.
Yeah.
Is it missing the windows that might be there?
It's not, there's, the windows are large on one side, thinking that the bed wall will be on the other side. And putting, there could be two small windows there, or like an up high kind of clear story, then
Mhm.
it's like a horizontal window on that kind of large mass. So I'll definitely study it because I agree with you.
Mhm.
I think that maybe horizontal windows would exacerbate the look of that, but
Mhm.
perhaps small, just two small windows, one in each bedroom, could help that facade upstairs.
And then go to A3.3. And then on that north elevation, is that window on the right panel there, just to the left of the bay, I think? Is that a stairway? It's kind of halfway between. And do you have the option to make a bigger window in that stairwell, or are you kind of like pushed up against the ceiling there? Is there
There was a desire to have a photo gallery wall around that window.
is that centered on the landing there, or what? So that window is not quite center of the landing though, huh? Or is it?
The window is centered on the landing.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Those were all my questions. Let's go to public comment. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to item number 483 Hot Springs Road?
And we have no speakers online.
Speakers. Okay, we'll close public comment. We'll go back to the board for their comments. Stacy?
I think I'm okay with the size, bulk, scale overall of the project. I am concerned though that you have from looking at these two elevations, they feel like two different houses in terms of the window door styles. You have mullions and a lot of cut on the bottom facade and nothing on the top facade. Feels like two separate houses that way. I think I'd love for you to consider choosing a direction, one way or the other. And given a choice, I always say go with mullions. Like, I think it just feels more expensive and adds more to the character of the house. I agree with um, about the chimneys. They're very tall, and if there was something you could do to change the massing or their location, so it's just not so obvious. And then too, I think more warmth on the house too. Right now, the material board to me reads very cold and just a little bit um I think it'd be a little more interesting, a little more wood, a little more warmth added to it, and to consider that maybe a bronze metal roof instead of a black, or just it's so edgy to be black and white, and yet it's trying to be more of a farmhouse, sort of a modern farmhouse. And I know we've seen the black and white modern farmhouse look a lot, and it's starting to become just, I'd like it to not feel so generic. Just a little something, just taking it, edging it towards like a warmer crafted feel. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Yep. Comments?
I think the good project. Do we need story poles?
We're taking a second story away and putting a second story up.
Much bigger one.
Yeah,
The size.
probably not a bad idea to do that. Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody agree with that? Yeah. Okay, so story poles. We'll give you some direction on that if you'd like. I think probably if you want to go to the roof plan. There we go. The highest ridge, I think, certainly. And you want the four corners of that, four corners of the largest, highest roof and the ridge of that. So 4, 5, 6 poles and flags. If you want to do a flag of the ridge, that'd be great.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we'll be fine, but story poles will tell.
Robert, comments?
Yes, I don't see Americana. I don't see farmhouse. You have really a blank sheet of paper. This is an opportunity to create something really beautiful, and I don't think this house is beautiful. I would restudy the entire project. Sorry. It for me.
Can I see the FAR study again, please?
It was 103.
Can you zoom it in? Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, the ADU is over the garage. I think it had to be shown on it, and that's about 400 square feet, right? Is that over the garage?
No, it's not over a garage, is it?
What's over the garage?
The ADU.
No, it's separate, it's detached.
Yeah.
It's south, or it's closer to Dinsmore Lane,
And how many square feet is that?
600.
Yeah, it had to be shown on the calculation because it's detached from the house.
Really?
Yes.
There's detached ADU there. You can fill it in there.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought that because it was under a separate permit that was not included in the calculation.
So that would bump your FAR to probably 1.2.
Is he
Okay.
detached, David?
I defer to Kimberly on that one.
Okay. Kimberly, does the detached ADU add to the FAR?
So it's my understanding of the guidelines that detached ADUs are calculated into the detached accessory structure calculations, but that they don't, but that you are allowed an ADU of a size that the site can maintain. So it doesn't go into the FARs except for when you get into the accessory detached structures and their contribution to the overall FARs.
Okay. So in this particular case, it wouldn't add to the FAR
Because of the
because it's not got any other accessory uses.
because it's
It's not attached.
but it's under the DAB allowance accessory buildings.
Yes. Right.
I see.
Okay. Rob,
Um,
comments?
yeah, could we go to the site plan again, please? Um, I'm not necessarily thinking I don't believe the whole project needs to be restudied. I just think that collectively, some of the comments have been made, things like the chimneys, adding second store, something interesting on that second store blank wall, whether it's windows or some other articulation. Um, you know, I'm 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 thinking maybe stone around the front door entry. Maybe that's a possibility of resolving that hierarchy issue. And I believe like this is where I think a landscape architect in terms of dealing with the driveway and maybe courtyards and looking at all those kind of site elements that I think you could take this project into rather than tract looking into a kind of a nice custom home farmhouse look that could work quite well. So I just think there's some tweaks there that are worth studying and will kind of help move this forward for you. So I mean those are basically my comments. And again, the landscape architect I think is integral with the site stuff because the drainage I think will play something that you need to resolve, and then some of that will all kind of work itself out. So thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Could we go to the elevations again? Yeah, I think massing wise, I'm fine with it. I think it's the detailing of it that as I think I'm hearing from the other board members, whether it's window placements, entry idea, I think it's good. Some kind of a statement there made for the entry. The chimneys, certainly the proportion and scale of that. the siding materials, warming that up, I think that's could be a good potential there. Just kind of softening it. It's more of a contemporary and not quite farmhouse because the tails are short and there's not a lot of overhang, but it's a very contemporary look, which is fine. I'm okay with that. But there are just some details I think that you need to kind of fuss with a little bit, and large blank walls on the east side there, and entry or the stairwell window is, I think just some tweaks like that are going to get you where you need to go. I don't think it's a broad scale correction. I think it's just detailing and getting some of these comments that you've heard added on to that, and maybe even a softer rendering to help that along if you want. That might even showing plants and growies and landscaping and just kind of, color as well. All these things kind of help sell us on it as well. So, so you're here for concept review. We'll have you come back. I guess you can come back after story polls. Yeah. So we'll do a story poll site visit, and then continue. We're continuing it then at this point. Okay. Continued.
So further conceptual review.
Further conceptual
Site
review
visit.
with site visit. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
you.
Thank you. Okay. Item 5, 901 Picacho Lane. Stacy is going to be stepping down, and the rest of us will be here still. And introduce yourself and give us your presentation.
Hey, on? Yep. I'm Rachel, representing Stacy Isaac Landscape Architects, and coming back for further conceptual review today for the Latin project.
Before you do that, let's maybe read the comments from last meeting. Site visit required. So we had our people out there today looking at it. And BAR can generally support a setback modification. Consider lowering, sinking the elevation of the court, provide grading plan, confirming grading calculations and drainage design, explore sound dampening materials, acoustifence, and design options to reduce court noise, acoustical panels, hanging, draping wall, plantings, uneven wall surfaces, etc. Consider engaging an acoustical engineer to analyze sound impacts. Consider submitting a sound study, which you have done. Okay. Hey, go ahead. Thank you.
So we have lowered the court as suggested by a foot and raised surrounding walls to 5 feet. We can move to the sheet showing the section elevations. It is sheet LO.3. Yep. As you'll see, the 5-foot walls wrapping the court to help mitigate sound. We didn't put any growies or green on the wall. We want to keep consistent with the existing stone wall that we really like the aesthetic of. And then we did engage with an acoustical engineer, giving a sound study that we feel was in favor of the proposed location being lowered in the modified setback as opposed to up above and outside of that setback area.
Okay. Was that it?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody wants to see any of the acoustical study. We reviewed that at the site. So if you're okay, we'll move on to questions. Rob, do you have any questions?
I do not have any questions at this time.
Okay. Tip, questions?
No questions.
Robert?
No questions.
Okay. Okay, so let's open it to public comment. Is there anyone in the audience that'd like to speak to 901 Picacho Lane?
I don't think we have anyone left, either online or in the audience.
Online or, did we have letters on this? We had previous, but not now, I guess, right?
Not for this meeting.
Not for this meeting. Okay, all right. Well, let's close public comment. We'll go on to comments. Rob, do you want to start off with some comments?
Sure.
Okay.
The last version, I wrote up a number of comments on it, but, and I believe some of those have been incorporated to some extent. But what I saw is that, the site is, is chaotic from all this stuff that's there from before you folks were brought aboard. And I actually think that the pickleball court, where some people complain about the noise, I can, and I respect that. It looks like the homes are quite a bit distant away, considerable distance away, all of them. It's buried in an oak woodland. You're dropping it as low as possible, so I think it's gonna be reasonably muffled being down there. And actually, this is a case where the pickleball court just helps this site, and kind of like it's choked off with all this other stuff and all these other little uses. And I think the pickleball court will actually simplify it and open up the whole kind of property and end up being a nice asset. And just in terms of the site, and get rid of some of the chaos and clutter that's there, because as I saw, that was all being demoed because part of trying to allow for the pickleball court. So I actually think this kind of in a funny kind of way becomes an asset. And so I'm fine with it and support it.
Tip, comments?
Yeah, I do agree with Rob that just seeing something, a little more simplified in that area might be a plus to the site. So I think the pickleball court should be fine. And in terms of location, you never can find a good location for pickleball court, but in this case, I think it's as good as it gets at the corner of two streets with a fair amount of traffic, day and night. So, and I can support the setback modification. Thank you.
Robert, comments?
I agree. I was hesitant, really. I was like, why are we here? But the site visit was really crucial. And this is, the proof is in the pudding. I mean, we were there. And I think this is a good project. Again, it is on a corner. It's a busy area of Montecito. It does clean up the site, and I fully support this.
Okay. Yeah, I too can support it for the reasons that, to move it anywhere else up the site certainly gets more impacting to the site in terms of grading and plants that you have that are mature. It also is a good spot because it is on a corner there, Picacho and Mountain, and the houses are quite a distance from anything. You're not asking for a side setback. So I can support what you have. I did have a question, which I forgot to ask. You're taking 2 oaks away and you're mitigating with
We are mitigating.
how many?
Yes, or the open space where there's currently some vegetable gardens. See, they're depicted on the top.
The 2 darkest
Yes, those
greens.
are.
So you're removing 2 and replacing 2. So what size are those? Are those 48?
Those are 48.
Okay, 1 for 1 then.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, so I think generally we're saying we can support the setback modification proposed. Do we comment on this, or does this doesn't go to planning commission? This is,
So Kimberly can correct me if I'm wrong, but modifications, looks like it'll have to come back for preliminary approval on the mod before it goes to any sort of discretionary review.
okay.
So then to add to it, I would encourage any other opportunities to simplify some of the pathways and even the vegetation out there, the kind of palms and things that sometimes kind of detract from the oak woodland feeling. Anything you could move in that direction would kind of add to making this successful.
So we'll grant concept approval and have them come back for preliminary to the full board. Is that correct? Is that how that works?
So there's no such thing.
Oh,
as a
not, that's right.
concept approval, but you can have them come back for preliminary. yeah.
Okay, we'd like to have you come back for preliminary.
I used to have concept approval.
Okay,
Thank
all
you.
right, thank you. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn today's meeting? September 4th.
I motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I get a second first, I guess.
Second,
All those in favor?
I